1953. Your dad lit a cigarette in the hospital ward, right there, next to patients on oxygen. The nurse smiled and asked if he had a spare. Nobody stopped him. Nobody thought twice. The 1950s weren't just a simpler time. They were a completely different world where things you did every single day would get you arrested, fined, or sued into oblivion today. Today we're looking at 15 everyday things every Australian did in the 1950s that are now completely illegal. 1. Driving without seatbelts. You got in the car, started the engine, drove off, no seatbelts. Nobody wore them because they didn't exist in most cars. Kids in the back, they'd stand up, climb around, hang out the windows, roll around in the back of the station wagon like luggage. Baby needed to go somewhere. Mum held it on her lap in the front seat. That was the baby seat. Mum's arms. Long trip? Kids would sleep on the parcel shelf behind the back seat. That flat bit under the rear window. Perfect bed, apparently. Sudden stop. Everyone went flying. Heads smashed into dashboards. Kids launched through windscreens. The government didn't care. No laws about it. Your car, your problem. Victoria made seatbelts mandatory in 1970, but through the entire 1950s, driving without restraints was just normal. Try that today. Massive fines. Police would pull you over instantly. 2. Kids working full-time at 14. You turned 14. School was finished. Time to get a proper job. Not a paper route, not pocket money work. A real job, factory, shop, construction site. You worked adult hours, 8 hours, sometimes 10, 6 days a week. The law allowed it, encouraged it even. Families needed the money. You'd be operating machinery, heavy equipment, dangerous stuff. No safety training. Just watch what he does and copy him. Lost a finger, bad luck, got hurt, walk it off. Mines employed 14-year-olds, down underground, in the dark, breathing dust all day. Your childhood ended at 14. You were a worker, an income earner, part of the family's survival. Nobody questioned it. Nobody thought kids deserved protection or education past that age. Now, kids can't work until 15, and even then, restricted hours. Heavy machinery, absolutely not. 3. Selling cigarettes to children. Little Johnny ran down to the corner shop, 8 years old, pockets jingling with coins. 20 Alpine for Dad, thanks. The shopkeeper grabbed them off the shelf, took the money, handed them over. No questions, no ID, no hesitation. Kids bought cigarettes for their parents constantly, daily errand, like buying milk. Some kids bought them for themselves. The shopkeeper didn't care. Money was money. You'd see 10-year-olds sitting on street corners smoking. Nobody intervened. Cigarette companies advertised directly to kids, cartoons with smoking characters, toys shaped like cigarettes. It was completely legal, socially acceptable, normal. Now, selling tobacco to anyone under 18 is a serious offence. Heavy fines. Potential jail time, license revoked. But in the 50s, kids and cigarettes went together. 4. Drinking and driving freely. You finished work, went to the pub, had 6 beers, got in your car, drove home, legal, completely legal. There was no blood alcohol limit, no random breath testing, no consequences unless you crashed. Blokes would drive home from the pub absolutely paralytic, swerving all over the road. As long as they made it home without hitting anything, no problem. Police would see you driving drunk. They'd follow you to make sure you got home safe. They wouldn't arrest you. Christmas parties? Everyone drove home drunk. Work functions? Same thing. You'd drive with a beer in your hand, drinking while driving. One hand on the wheel, one hand on your stubby. Crashes happened constantly. Deaths everywhere. The road toll was astronomical. Now, 0.05 limit, random breath tests, immediate loss of license, heavy fines. Jail time for high readings. But in the 1950s, drinking and driving was your right. 5. Caning. Children at school. You talked back to the teacher. You got the cane. Not detention, not suspension. Physical punishment, legally mandated, government approved. The headmaster kept his cane in the office, thick bamboo, sometimes multiple canes for different offences. Your name got called. You walked to the office, everyone watching. Hand out, palm up, whack. The cane came down, pain exploded through your hand. Multiple hits depending on what you'd done. 3, 6, sometimes more. You'd go back to class with welts rising on your palm, fingers swelling. Unable to write properly for days. Parents supported it. You must have deserved it. More punishment at home for getting the cane at school. Girls got it too. Younger kids got it. Everyone eligible. Now, that's assault. Criminal charges. Lose your teaching licence. Jail time possible. But in the 50s, hitting kids was educational policy. 6. Spraying DDT everywhere. The council truck rolled down your street. Big tank on the back. Spraying white clouds of DDT. You'd run behind it, play in the fog, let it cover you completely. Your parents encouraged it. It'll keep the mozzies away. DDT was a miracle chemical. Killed every insect. Government promoted it heavily. They sprayed it in schools, in hospitals, in restaurants, inside homes. The DDT man would come to your house, spray every room, your bedroom, the kitchen, everything. You'd breathe it in. It'd settle on your food, your clothes, your skin. Farmers sprayed it on crops. It soaked into the soil, ran into the water supply. Nobody questioned it. Everyone trusted the government, except it wasn't safe. DDT causes cancer, birth defects, environmental destruction. Banned in Australia in 1987. But in the 50s, you were running through clouds of it for fun. 7. Building without permits. You wanted to build a shed? You built a shed, extension on the house, started building tomorrow. No permits, no approvals, no inspections. Your land, your property, your right to build whatever you wanted. You'd see blokes building second stories on weekends. No structural engineer, no safety calculations. Just hammering away. Electrical work, do it yourself. Plumbing, same thing. No licenses required. Buildings collapsed. Electrocutions happened. Fires started from dodgy wiring. The government didn't care. Regulation was minimal. You could build a factory next to a school, a workshop in a residential street, anything anywhere. Neighbours complain, too bad, no zoning laws. Now, building without approval is illegal. Massive fines, orders to demolish, potential jail time. Every nail needs permission, every wire needs certification. But in the 50s, you just built. 8. Using asbestos in everything. Your house was full of asbestos. Walls, ceilings, floors, roofing, insulation. It was the wonder material, cheap, fireproof, durable. The government loved it. Schools were built with asbestos. Hospitals, government buildings, homes, everything. You'd cut it, sand it, drill into it. A dust everywhere. You'd breathe it in all day. Kids played with asbestos sheeting, used it for craft projects, broke it up for fun. Tradies worked with it constantly. No masks, no protection, no warnings. The manufacturers knew it was dangerous. They'd known since the 1930s. They hid the evidence. Thousands of workers got exposed. Thousands of families, millions of Australians. Now, asbestos is banned. Removal requires licensed professionals, extreme safety protocols, massive fines for improper handling. Mesothelioma kills thousands. Asbestos-related diseases everywhere. But in the 50s, you were living in it, breathing it, completely legal, completely deadly. 9. No motorcycle helmets. You bought a motorcycle, hopped on, rode off, no helmet, not required, not expected. Your hair in the wind, nothing between your skull and the road. Teenage boys loved it. Freedom, speed, danger. Crashes were brutal. Head injuries everywhere. Deaths constantly. Nobody mandated helmets. The government said it was personal choice. You'd see kids riding to school on motorcycles. No helmets, no protective gear. Just shorts and a t-shirt. Blokes would ride drunk. No helmet and no sobriety. Double danger. The hospitals were full of motorcycle injuries, traumatic brain injuries, deaths. Victoria finally made helmets mandatory in 1961. Other states followed slowly, but through most of the 50s, helmets were optional. Now, mandatory everywhere. Heavy fines for not wearing one. 10. Dumping waste. Anywhere you had rubbish? You threw it away, wherever was convenient. Factory had chemical waste, dump it in the river. Easy disposal. Old car parts, chuck them in the creek. Paint cans, bury them in the backyard. No environmental regulations, no pollution controls, no consequences. Industries dumped everything, heavy metals, toxic chemicals, industrial waste, straight into waterways. The government didn't monitor it. Economic growth was what mattered. You'd see rivers running. Different colours depending on what the factory upstream was making that day. Fish died constantly. The water reeked. Nobody could swim in most rivers near cities. Household waste, burn it in your backyard. Everything, plastics, chemicals, whatever. The smoke would blanket the neighbourhood. Toxic fumes everywhere now. Strict environmental laws. Illegal dumping carries massive fines. Criminal charges for serious pollution. But in the 50s, the environment was a free dumping ground. 11, lead paint on everything your house got painted. Lead paint. Always lead paint. Walls, doors, window frames, furniture, toys, everything. It was the best paint available, durable, bright colours, government approved, kids' bedrooms covered in it, babies' cribs painted with it, toys coated in it. The paint would chip, kids would eat the chips. Sweet taste, apparently. Lead poisoning. Nobody knew, nobody warned anyone. The manufacturers knew it was toxic. They didn't care. You'd sand it down for chim-tang-chom. Repainting. Dust everywhere. Breathing it in. Lead entering your bloodstream. Children growing up in these homes absorbed lead constantly. Developmental issues, brain damage, behavioural problems. Now we know lead causes permanent neurological damage, especially in children. Banned for residential use in 1970. But in the 50s, lead paint covered everything your kids touched. 12. Children riding in truck beds. You had a ute, kids rode in the back. Simple, not just your kids, all the neighbourhood kids. 10 of them piled in the tray, driving down the highway. Kids standing up, holding onto the sides, wind in their faces. Nobody wore restraints, nothing to hold on to properly, just balance and hope. Sudden stop, kids flew forward, smashed into the cab, went over the side, corners, everyone slid around, crashed into each other, fell out sometimes. Farmers did it constantly. Kids riding to town in the back of the truck, sitting on hay bales. Police would drive past, wave, didn't care. Crashes were catastrophic. Kids ejected, thrown clear, crushed under vehicles. Now, absolutely illegal. Passengers must be in an enclosed cabin with seatbelts, heavy fines, endangerment charges. But in the 50s, the back of a truck was standard transport. 13. Workplace safety didn't exist. You got a factory job, first day, no safety training. They pointed at the machine. That's yours, figure it out. No protective equipment, no safety guards on machinery, no emergency stops. Workers lost fingers, lost hands, lost arms. Daily occurrence, no compensation, no workers' rights. You got hurt, you got fired. Your fault for being careless. Your fault for not paying attention. Dangerous chemicals everywhere. No labels, no safety data, no protective gear. You'd work with acids, solvents, toxic substances, bare hands, no masks. Factories were death traps. Accidents constantly. The injury rate was staggering. Now, strict workplace safety laws, OH&S regulations, mandatory safety equipment. Companies face massive fines for violations, criminal charges for serious incidents. But in the 50s, workplace safety was your own responsibility. 14. Keeping exotic animals as pets. You wanted a pet kangaroo? You got a pet kangaroo. Want a snake? Go catch one. Want a koala? Tree full of them. No licenses, no regulations, no restrictions. People kept everything. Wallabies in the backyard, eagles in cages, crocodiles in ponds. Kids brought native animals home. Parents shrugged. Feed it and clean up after it. You'd see advertisements. Baby kangaroo for sale. Hand-raised wombat. Dingo pups available. Nobody checked if you could care for them properly. Nobody monitored animal welfare. Animals died constantly. Wrong diet, wrong environment, wrong care. Dangerous animals in suburban homes. Venomous snakes kept in boxes. Now, strict licensing for native animals. Many species completely prohibited. Heavy fines and potential jail time. But in the 50s, if you could catch it, you could keep it. 15. The White Australia policy. This one's dark, confronting, but absolutely true. Australia had a legal policy, written into law, keeping the country white. Non-white immigration was banned, explicitly banned. Government policy. You couldn't bring your Asian wife to Australia, couldn't sponsor family members, couldn't immigrate if you weren't European. The government administered tests, dictation tests in obscure languages, designed to fail non-white applicants. They'd test a Chinese applicant in Gaelic, a Japanese applicant in Italian, set them up to fail. Discrimination was legal, required even, written into federal law. Aboriginal Australians faced separate restrictions, couldn't vote in some states, couldn't own property, couldn't move freely. This wasn't fringe behaviour, this was official government policy. The policy started ending in the 1960s, fully abolished in 1973. But through the entire 1950s, racial discrimination was the law of the land. Now, that's illegal. Racial discrimination is a serious crime. 15 everyday things Australians did in the 1950s. All of them now completely illegal. We've gained safety, rights, protections, environmental consciousness, basic human decency, but people didn't think they were doing anything wrong. These were normal, legal, government-approved activities. The world changed, the laws changed, society learned, sometimes the hard way. Which one shocked you most? Which one seems most unbelievable?